The United States Constitution grants the government a powerful tool, eminent domain. This authority allows the government to take private property for public use. However, this power is not unlimited. The Fifth Amendment mandates just compensation for the seized property. Court decisions play a critical role in defining the boundaries of eminent domain. They clarify what constitutes public use and ensure property owners receive fair treatment. Court rulings on eminent domain have far-reaching consequences. They impact individual property rights and shape the balance of power between citizens and the government. Over time, key Supreme Court decisions have established precedents that guide lower courts and influence legislative action. Understanding these landmark cases is crucial for grasping the complexities of eminent domain law in the United States. This essay will delve into the impact of pivotal court decisions on eminent domain, focusing on the landmark case of. It will analyze the public and legislative responses to these rulings, highlighting the tension between government power and individual property rights. By examining these landmark cases, we can gain a deeper understanding of the evolution of eminent domain law and its implications for property owners today. Navigating the intricacies of eminent domain requires a clear understanding of the legal framework governing this power. The Supreme Court stands as the highest judicial authority in the United States. Its rulings on eminent domain carry immense weight, setting precedents that bind lower courts and shaping the legal landscape. When the Supreme Court interprets the Constitution's takings clause, its decisions resonate throughout the legal system. One of the Supreme Court's crucial roles is to clarify the meaning of public use. The Fifth Amendment permits the taking of private property only for public use. However, defining what constitutes a legitimate public use is a complex task. The court's interpretations have evolved, reflecting changing societal values and economic conditions. The court also plays a vital role in ensuring that property owners receive just compensation when their property is taken. This compensation goes beyond fair market value. It should encompass any additional losses incurred due to the taking, such as relocation costs or business disruptions. The Supreme Court's rulings provide guidance on determining just compensation, safeguarding property owners from unfair treatment. Through its decisions, the Supreme Court shapes the balance between the government's power of eminent domain and the individual's right to own and use property. These rulings have a profound impact on property owners, developers, and government entities alike. Few Supreme Court cases have generated as much controversy as 2005. This landmark case centered around the city of New London, Connecticut's plan to revitalize its struggling economy through a redevelopment project. The city sought to acquire 90 acres of private property, including Suzette Kelo's home, to make way for a waterfront hotel, office space, and upscale housing. The central issue was whether the city's plan constituted a public use under the Fifth Amendment. The property owners, including Suzette Kelo, argued that taking their homes for economic development, primarily benefiting private developers, did not meet the public use requirement. They contended that the government should not be able to seize homes and businesses solely to transfer them to other private entities for economic gain. In a 5-4 decision, the Supreme Court sided with the city of New London. The court held that the city's economic redevelopment plan, even though it involved transferring property to private developers, served a valid public use because it was intended to benefit the community as a whole through job creation, increased tax revenue, and economic revitalization. The decision sparked a firestorm of controversy nationwide. The decision ignited a wave of public outrage and sparked legislative action across the country. Critics from across the political spectrum denounced the ruling as a gross expansion of government power and a threat to private property rights. They argued that allowed local governments to seize homes and businesses for virtually any reason, as long as they could claim it would boost economic development. The public backlash, too, was swift and significant. Grassroots movements emerged, advocating for stronger protections for property rights. Citizens rallied, organized protests, and lobbied their elected officials to limit the use of eminent domain. The case became a rallying cry for property rights advocates and fueled a national conversation about the proper balance between individual liberties and government power. In response to the public outcry, many states enacted or strengthened laws restricting the use of eminent domain for economic development. Some states passed constitutional amendments requiring a higher level of scrutiny for takings that primarily benefit private parties. Others imposed stricter definitions of public use, limiting the government's ability to seize property for vague or speculative economic benefits. Section 5. Shifting tides of public opinion. Eminent domain under scrutiny. The case marked a turning point in public opinion on eminent domain. Prior to, the issue had received relatively little attention outside legal circles. However, the highly publicized case, with its sympathetic homeowner fighting against a powerful city government, brought the issue of eminent domain into the national spotlight. The decision revealed a deep wellspring of public concern about the potential for government overreach when it comes to property rights. The case highlighted the inherent tension between the government's power to take property for the public good and the individual's right to own and control their property. It forced Americans to confront the question of how much power the government should have to seize private property, even for projects that promise economic benefits. The public's response demonstrated a strong attachment to the principle of private property rights. Many Americans, regardless of their political affiliation, felt that the government should not be able to take someone's home or business simply because a developer promised to create jobs or generate more tax revenue. The case sparked a national conversation about the limits of government power and the importance of protecting individual liberty. This shift in public opinion had a profound impact on the political landscape. Section 6. Beyond Kelo, other landmark cases and their impact. Kelo v. City of New London is pivotal in eminent domain law, but it's part of a broader context. Other landmark cases have shaped our understanding of eminent domain. Hawaii Housing Authority versus Midkiff, 1984, addressed land oligopoly in Hawaii. The Supreme Court upheld the Land Reform Act, expanded public use definition to broader societal concerns. Berman v. Parker, 1954. Redevelopment plan to eliminate slums and blight, upheld broad government authority for public use. These cases illustrate the evolving nature of eminent domain law. Section 7. Protecting your property. Key takeaways for property owners. Navigating eminent domain law can be daunting. Understand your rights if your property is taken for public use. Key takeaways for property owners: know your rights. Familiarize yourself with state laws. States have varying levels of protection. Seek legal counsel. Consult an experienced attorney. Document everything. Maintain meticulous records. Engage with your community. Make your voice heard. Your property rights are protected by the Constitution. Section 8. The future of eminent domain. Balancing public and private interests. The debate over eminent domain is far from over. The tension between the government's power to take property for public use and the individual's right to own and control their property remains a source of ongoing discussion and legal challenges. As society evolves and new challenges arise, the courts will continue to grapple with the complexities of eminent domain. Future cases may involve issues such as climate change adaptation. Can the government use eminent domain to acquire land for projects aimed at mitigating the effects of climate change, such as seawalls, levees, or relocation of coastal communities? Infrastructure development. As the demand for renewable energy, transportation infrastructure, and other public works projects grows, how will courts balance these needs with the property rights of individuals and communities? Economic revitalization in the wake of pandemics. Will governments be able to use eminent domain for economic redevelopment projects in the aftermath of pandemics or other major disruptions? The future of eminent domain law will depend on how courts and legislatures weigh competing interests. Balancing the need for public projects with the protection of individual property rights will continue to be a complex and evolving challenge. Section 9. Conclusion. Navigating the complexities of property rights in the 21st century. Eminent domain stands as a powerful tool for governments to address public needs. However, this power must be exercised judiciously and with respect for individual property rights. Court decisions, particularly those of the Supreme Court, play a crucial role in shaping the boundaries of eminent domain, defining public use, and ensuring just compensation for property owners. Landmark cases like Kelo v. City of New London have ignited public debate and highlighted the importance of safeguarding property rights. The public's response to Kelo demonstrates a deep-seated belief in the sanctity of private property and a wariness of government overreach. As we navigate the complexities of the 21st century, the tension between public and private interests will persist. Courts, legislatures, and citizens must engage in thoughtful dialogue to strike a balance that allows for necessary public projects while protecting the fundamental right to own and control property. Only through a commitment to these principles can we ensure a just and equitable society for all.